Okay, basically I wear a lot of hats. Obviously, I'm also a director at the Scottsdale Area Association of Realtors, and I'm really excited to announce the first time in Arizona, we're going to have a sustainable committee. Never been done before, so I'm super excited about that. Anyway, let's see. We're going to talk about steps to adding value so the builders can know that good stuff right up front if you don't already. Let's see. There's a form that doesn't exist on Zip Forms that I'm going to show you briefly. How to market on the MLS. Does your MLS have any energy efficient sustainable features? Yeah, how many? No, for their MLS. Right? Do you guys know? I'm sorry? I'm hearing like lots of different whispers. You guys got to speak up. Okay, we've got about 65 features in the Maricopa County one that we added, so the more the better. I encourage you to do that. Where Arizona ranks in energy efficiency, and which comes first, solar panels or insulation? I bet a lot of you know by now what comes first, right? Changes in the real estate market. How many of you guys went and got a green designation, or not a green designation? How many of you guys went and got a designation about how to handle short sales and foreclosures? Yeah? And do you use them now? No. And you guys, how many of you have a green designation again? Green designation? Are you going to use it in the future? You bet. And the more, the better. And Sam and I were talking about how, you know, now with the new evolving net zero homes, how you're going to need to know more about them. Well, the new NAR Green designation does include some of that, but I've actually texted the folks at Elevate Energy to see if they're going to add more to that content. So anyway, this was an actual picture I took. I try not to borrow anybody's pictures. That's copyright infringement. So why get a green designation? Does anybody know? I bet you guys do, right? After today, you will, right? So I can tell you for a fact that it's added umpteen clients to my business. It's value-added service. Of the 10 years I've been doing it in energy efficiency, it's been huge. I can't stress that enough. I stay current on relevant topics. I'm always going out and seeking the next best thing. Comparing one type of building certification to another because I need to be able to answer those questions. I just got interviewed for a zero energy ready project in Phoenix, and I may not get it, but you know what? They knew I would know what I was talking about. So that was a pat on my back, and I didn't care if I got it or not. Anyway, the cool thing is being able to save my clients money is huge. And educating them, even if they don't know, encouraging them. I had one guy that looked at me and said, "I don't recycle." And I said, "That's not what this is about." So anyway, and this is an actual picture I took of I believe, I'm trying to remember the year that house was built, about 1968. And so imagine this was a flip. And I went in the bathroom, and there's all this crusty stuff all along the bottom, and I thought, oh my goodness. So the disclosure in that house was huge. It was a flip. There was no disclosure. There was somebody flipping a house, and we didn't know anything about it. So my level of liability went triple on that house. And I don't have a slide for this, but what was really funny, coincidentally, I was leaning against the wall that was the master bedroom, and it was actually the former carport. And I don't know how it happened. It was the luck of my shoulder hit this part of the wall, and it was hot. And I knew that was the west wall. So I scooted back, and it did this again, and it was cool. And I asked my home inspector, who always uses his infrared camera, what is in that wall? Nothing. Nothing was in that wall. It was missing a strip of insulation, right? So when you're out there and you're looking, you're showing homes that have been flipped, look at the before and after photos. Look to see if there was a window air conditioner moved, if they sealed it up. Find somebody, a home inspector with an infrared camera, shoot that wall because you're going to help benefit your homeowner that's buying a flip. Do you guys have a lot of flips in this county? Yes? No? No? We got a boatload of them. I'm involved in one right now. Okay, and actually, this is a picture I took when walking construction. So let's see if I can get this pointer to work right. Oops, that doesn't work. Where's the middle? Okay, great. See this right here? That's like a bend and an elbow in a duct line, and there's a strap. It's supposed to be strapped, but it's kind of kinked. So I asked my buyer, what's going to be in the room where this duct is going? Oh, that's going to be my office. I said, what's going to be the hottest room in the house? So anyway, I kind of chastised the builder, and we're no longer friends. So anyway, so you know, I always try to play devil's advocate when I'm with my clients, and when I walk a house, I'm looking up in the attic. I'm looking to see what kind of insulation they're going to be putting there. Is it going to be certified? I was talking to Sam a minute ago. I was telling him there's one that I'm doing right now that's environments for living. So I thought, I better be smart about this. Better compare environments for living to Energy Star, because it's not really a certified Energy Star. And so that was a nice little exercise. So if you haven't done that, look up environments for living. So I always suggest an energy audit on resales, specifically so they can learn about energy efficiency themselves. And we don't always ask for ducts to be sealed during an inspection period, but it's nice for them to know and learn about it. And if they want to do some things, we can add those features and we can wrap it into an energy efficient mortgage. I just did one of those for a vet out in Maricopa. Anybody ever been to the town of Maricopa? Yeah, oh, I knew you had. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, this house down in Maricopa didn't look like this, I guarantee you. That's another story for another day. I could tell you stories all day. So this story, true story, an agent in my former RE/MAX office, I'm with HomeSmart now, but this gal asked me, would you babysit my, listing while I'm on vacation? I thought, oh, great, more free work, just what I need. I said, sure, I'll help you out. So this gal was going on vacation. She's going to Costa Rica, not carrying a cell phone. I said, great, let's go see this house. So I called her up, I said, hey, send me the listing. I looked at the listing. The last sentence in the paragraph, what did it say? Energy bills average $250 a month. Now, what do you think is in this house? It's 6,000 square feet, right? 6,000 square feet of house. What's in the walls? 5.5 inches of spray foam all the way around and the lid of the roof. And there were no energy efficient features on this listing. What the heck is wrong with that, right? So I told her, I said, I need to talk to the owner, and we played phone tag. I talked to the owner, and he was clueless. And the reason why he was clueless, he was going through a divorce. So who has to be an advocate for their clients, right, Esther? We do. So anyway, I said, I need to talk to your builder. So I called the builder. We played phone tag too. Got him on the phone, and I listed everything. And learning about the spray foam, I knew this was a tight building envelopes. Immediately I said, where's your fresh air coming? Oh, yep, got 2 more systems over here. After $98,000 in features, this pending listing sold for full price. The reason it sold for full price is because of this little form right here. Has anybody seen this before? I knew some of you have. This form is on the Appraisal Institute website. It's the form I was telling you that you don't know exists if you haven't seen it before. This is the residential green and energy efficient addendum. There's a commercial one too. So the residential green and energy efficient addendum, write that down, it's really long, just call it the green addendum. It can be found on the Appraisal Institute website. Go to appraisalinstitute.org. You probably can't see it on the bottom here, but appraisalinstitute.org, look for education, then look for green building. On that page, you'll see everything you need to know, including a list of appraisers by state, okay? So if you go to that link, that's the link that you send to the buyer's agent and to their lender. The minute you get a contract on a home like this, the first thing you do is you call that lender and you say, hey, I need a green qualified appraiser. And when they say no, you say, well, I've got a list of them for you. And if they say no, then you say, well, that appraiser has to be competent to perform the assignment. Use those exact words. It's in the USPAP guidelines. Okay, and I didn't create that. I've hosted the classes for appraisers. As a volunteer with U.S. Green Building Council, I now run the residential committee. So if you guys want to do that, see me afterwards and I'll tell you how to do that and add more to your list. We've got about 25 or 6 in Arizona now, I think. We put about 20 names on that list. So I know those guys, I know they exist. I also have another list of a full 39 names that's not on that list. Well, some of them are on that list. But they're on the ones that came to the class that SRP sponsored. Okay, so this is a true story too. Let me tell you another story. So this is a house that, unfortunately, I don't have the whole picture. But you can see that maybe on the top, you guys in the back, I don't know if you can see this or not. You guys are way back there, by the way, like 100 feet. Okay, so can you see that there's solar panels on the roof? Can you see that half of them are in the shade? Can you see that? You can't see. There's actually, in that driveway, there's a dumpster with pink fluffy stuff. Don't you think that's a little backwards? Wouldn't you insulate and make your home tighter and more efficient before selling solar? You know what I call that? A good salesman. He sold them a whole lot of solar. It's probably leased. 95% of residential solar in Arizona is leased anyway. Okay, so, and again, we were talking about green features on your MLS. That's the first thing that you do is advertise. But now, do you guys use a different MLS. Do you guys have a document tab where you can upload documents? Great, okay. That's where your green addendum goes. The person that has the most knowledge needs to fill that addendum out, okay? So if you don't know how to do it, get your homeowner. If they don't know how to do it, get somebody who understands it and interviews them. Just find as many features as you can to add as much value as you can. I'm actually in the middle of a sale right now, and I've turned down 2 appraisers. 2 weeks later, they finally sent me somebody that knew about the PV value tool, the link that's on that addendum. It took me 2 weeks, and you know what? We might be late in closing, but the seller is going to get value for his own solar panels, okay? So there's the appraiser education. Again, that's the link. What's really cool that we're seeing in the industry now is that there's so much communication that's happening, and I'm sure you can attest to this too, Sam. So much between DOE, NAR. I mean, I just reviewed the new solar course that came out. Have you guys seen that yet? There's a new solar course that came out through a grant with the Department of Energy. And it's through NAR, and it was Elevate Energy, and I got to review that before it came out, and it's a great course. It's only $39, and it's online, and you can take that course. I think, do I have a link? No, I don't. So why is this important? And another, this is a, you know, I need a pom-pom too, Nancy. We talked about needing pom-poms. Arizona is #1 per capita for production-built energy-efficient homes. Did you know that? 60% market share, right? That is really cool. So you guys live in a very progressive state, you just don't know it. Okay, and yes, you know what? I actually had this slide. I'm trying to remember the date that I put this up, Esther. I've got us as #3. Well, it says #5. We're #3 per capita behind North Carolina. I'm trying to remember the date that I pulled this up, you know. I know, we're in there somewhere. And wind turbines by state, we kind of lack in that department, but we could probably do better. You what now? It helps to have wind. That's true. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you being here and taking time to listen.
Thank you. You're a world of knowledge. I just want to say to the realtors real quickly that Jan has agreed to come up again, and Kim's going to help us hold a class just for this, so the appraisers and the realtors can really get educated. So you watch for that when it comes up. Thank you so much, Jan. Yes, for the appraisers. The other thing I want to say is the whole presentations, the PowerPoints, we're going to send those out for everybody that attended, so watch your emails and you'll get that. Also, it's been videotaped, and we're going to get a link. So probably SBVR will have that, and it'll be on YouTube. The next portion is we want to do some Q&A. So anybody that's got a question, just on this side come up, and on this side come up, we'll give you the mic, and you can address it to the panel. So you get your chance. Anybody with questions? Just so you can talk in the mic so people can hear, just stand up and come on over. Yes. You've got a mic here? Let me get you a mic. You got a mic? Yeah. Okay. Don't be afraid. Just come on up. I'm up here. I'm afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm not a realtor, but I am a prospective homeowner in this area, and actually from upstate New York, which maybe doesn't have the same level of energy cred right now. We have a lot of old buildings, very energy inefficient. But, you know, it was interesting because you have this upswing, you get all excited and so on. But I wanted to kind of return to Sam's first comment where he talked about risks and reducing risks, and that there was a little bit of a curve when your energy reduction goes up, your risks also rise because you have less ventilation, and we saw a lot of, you know, and certainly when Sharon, was that your Sharon, I almost had a panic attack because let me tell you, ubiquitous in Arizona, 3-car garages. Now, if all those 3-car garages have battery operated cars, And a lot of people, the other thing is people like to open and close them all the time and live in them. And then I started to think, oh my gosh, you're living like in potentially a hazard zone. The other thing they like to do in Arizona is put houses as close to each other as possible. I mean, and then of course I'm a landscape architect. I haven't fully disclosed, but the other thing is I like to cover up all the land.
You sound like a New Yorker.
Yeah. So you have the heat island effect too. You get, basically you're living in a high temperature zone. But anyway, my question was especially to the last realtor that spoke, how are you really fully disclosing this kind of balance, or I guess this tension between risks and benefits? Because if you do this kind of disclose the appraisal that you just discussed, and on the upside you're having, I feel really great, I'm buying this energy efficient home, are the risks fully being disclosed at the same time? And are we really fully, really holistically understanding the benefit-risk ratio? I guess, I don't know, I kind of ask all of you to talk about that a little bit.
Well, I could answer a couple of things. I was actually on the forms committee for the seller property disclosure statement and adding a lot of features there. But you can imagine that of the 15 people around the table on that forms committee, and 2 of them were brokers, big brokers, that I had a lot of pushback from everything I tried to suggest. And so then I came up with a form that I tried to suggest, and spent 6 months and interviewed 6 other states' forms and tried to suggest that. And the 30 people in that room vetoed it because they thought it was about marketing, when I said, no, it's about disclosure. It's about disclosing everything that you know about a home, because we don't have enough room on this form. It was going to be a green disclosure form with a checkbox about everything that you just talked about. So would you just come with me next time I do that? I can't tell you how frustrating it is. For 10 years, it's been an uphill battle working 7 days a week. So I appreciate your comment.
Want to add that I am not in any way nervous about all that lithium ion in my garage. In addition to the car, I also have a golf cart that has lithium ion batteries in it too. And I think the point is more that when you start getting into these more energy efficient homes, you have to do it right. And that's why I think things like the International Energy Conservation Code, having a HERS rater come through and evaluate the home, those are the kind of subject matter experts that realtors ought to have as their new best friend, so that when they sell these homes, that they have an expert that they can call up and that they can say, hey, there's some funny looking battery in the garage, and oh, by the way, I don't understand what this is or that is. And I think that would be my key point to you, is establish a relationship with a HERS rater and make sure, buy them lunches, buy them dinner, whatever, make sure they're there to call on when you have questions.